Have you ever scrolled through calligraphy social media accounts and thought, dang, mine looks like everyone else's, or I'll never get to where they are? Yeah, me too. Today, I'm showing you how to make your business stand out in a saturated calligraphy space, while also giving you engraving tips for this gorgeous Glossier fragrance bottle. You're going to learn a simple glass engraving technique, 3 ways to make your work unforgettable, and how to turn your style into a booked out biz. If you're serious about leveling up in your business, stick around to the end. I've got something for you. And if we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Rosie. I'm a former pharmacist who built a calligraphy business that's booked out with events and brand collaborations for high-end clients. Not because I write better than everyone else, but because I was able to build my business around it. Inside my coaching program, I've helped artists transform their businesses from frustrated into flourishing with 10K months. And it all starts with this, knowing what makes you different. Alright, so let's start off with engraving the Glossier Rev fragrance. You're going to stabilize the bottle on a microfiber cloth and anchor your dominant hand on a pillow or beaded mouse pad to make sure that you have the stability. You're going to sketch out your wording and any illustrations, making sure that it is centered on the bottle and doesn't actually overpower the logo, but rather accents it beautifully. Here I'm using the Marvi Uchida Bistro chalk marker in fine tip, which doesn't leave an oil mark and is easy to erase on most surfaces. You can also use the Stabilo All pencil or a brush marker to sketch it. You'll want to test the bottom of the fragrance to make sure that it doesn't ghost or leave a mark behind on the bottle once you erase it. Next, you're going to start engraving with light even pressure. I'm using the Yokefellow machine at 30,000 RPM with a 1mm brand new burr. If you need more information about the machine and burrs that I'm using, I'll link additional tutorials down below and add my Amazon link as well for you to purchase. Make the machine work for you, not the other way around. In your first pass, you'll notice I engrave the word and illustrations in monoline calligraphy. I'm also leaving this video in real time so that you can actually understand how fast and how slow to engrave instead of what you see on social media sometimes. It really is a low and slow game here. The client requested that we offer simple illustrations like a simple bow, stars, and little flowers. For this design, I added a cute little bow to the top left of the Glossier logo so that it complements the engraving and logo without actually overpowering it. Using the microfiber cloth beneath the bottle, clean up the engraving dust and chalk marker to reveal your engraving. Then from there, you're going to add the faux calligraphy to add dimension to your monoline calligraphy and fix any imperfections that you noticed from the first pass. I really love this part because it truly gives a luxury feel and creates the calligraphy that we are known for. From there, I'm going to add the details of the bow to elevate the whole vibe of the bottle. I have a huge favor to ask you. I'd love to put together more tutorials like this so that I can teach engraving more effectively. If you have any questions about engraving or are unclear about anything in this tutorial, please drop that into the comments for me. I've always dreamt of creating an engraving course throughout the years of teaching you, and your feedback is super important to me. So the last step is to fill the engraving with rub and buff, and this is one of my favorite parts because it really does bring the engraving to life. You're going to use a Q-tip and silver rub and buff, and notice I'm only using a little bit here because a little bit does go a really long way. I've seen rub and buff end up on people's faces and hands and arms, and it can be toxic to the skin, so make sure you're using just a very, very small and liberal amount. You're going to apply it in a circular or long ways motion just like this, and then from there you're going to use a Q-tip to clean off the excess rub and buff. It does come off fairly easily with some pressure, as you can see here, but sometimes it does dry very quickly. So from there, my secret tip for rub and buff is to use a clean cotton pad and a single spray of alcohol. Make sure it's wet but not dripping off because it's going to seep into the engraving. You're going to use it to clean off the excess wax using very, very light pressure, and the dried up wax should come off super easily. And that's it. That is the completed Glossier engraving, and I really love how it turned out. I love how the bow just accents and ties everything in together into one seamless design, and we're engraving in the most beautiful store I've ever worked in. The Glossier store in West Hollywood is like a real life Barbie house with the giant droppers and pink all around and so many photo opportunities, so highly recommend visiting if you can. Hope you enjoyed engraving with me at Glossier, and if you're ready to stop blending in and start booking real clients who pay a premium for you and your art, I coach calligraphers just like you inside the Craft Academy. We cover everything from niche niching down, building your business, pricing confidently, and yes, engraving like a boss. All you have to do is go to wandercrafter.com/apply to join us and learn more. So let's transition into how to make your business stand out as the CEO. Your first tip is to really develop a signature style. As the CEO of your business, you are the art and the product. You don't have to be formally trained. I think that's a very common misconception, but it is your responsibility to produce really great quality work as you develop in your business. If you're trying to attract luxury clients, you should also create luxury work. That being said, you don't have to have an established signature style to start selling or start building your business. And the main reason why is because your style will continue to evolve over the years. So my recommendation is to start selling now and test the market and develop as your business grows. The second tip is not to just post, but to actually position yourself. Are you the romantic wedding calligrapher or the badass bold letterer or even the elegant engraver for luxury brands? Post content that shows why your work matters and that they actually need you for their store, not just that you write pretty. When your post comes across on social media or on the search engine, the viewer should stop scrolling right away and say, oh, that's Wandercrafter. So my recommendation is to pick a vibe, speak to your ideal client, and really stick with it. Tip number 3 is to really show the transformation, not just the talent. One of my followers in my early days once told me, I came for the art, but I stayed for the story. And I never forgot it. As a calligrapher and performer, you are the product, so you need to show what the client will get when they hire you. Is it your bubbly persona, or your calming energy, or even the comedic relief? There are so many ways to show your personality, and each one is beautiful. If you like this tutorial, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your favorite lettering friend who needs to hear this. You got the skills, now let's make sure the world knows your name. And at the end of the event, they had this charm station outside, so you know I had to buy 3 lip balms and actually get it personalized for me and my friends. These are some of the perks that you get from working at a live event, and honestly, it was so much fun. I'm so happy I was able to do this and be able to share this experience with you all as well. Until then, happy engraving everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.